Perfect days like this. That's what they appreciate. Anyway, we're here downtown Ridgefield. We have to deal with these trucks, unfortunately. So, downtown Ridgefield, let's talk about the real estate market. I'm actually here by the Coldwell Banker office, and currently there's 31 houses on the market in town. 13 houses are CTS, means they continue to show they have an accepted offer, but they need to get through the mortgage and the appraisal/inspection process. So there's also 27 houses that are pending. So activity is really strong. Last week, only 2 houses have traded, but remember, this is actually Easter weekend. Mostly everybody's away, except for real estate agent Mark Pyers with Discover Connecticut. I'm here going live for the second broadcast of the day, and we're here in Ridgefield, Connecticut. If you missed it earlier, I was in Fairfield. It was an amazing open moment where 3 different people got on camera with me for a conversation, including my friend Joe, who owns 2 businesses in downtown Fairfield, Connecticut. Make sure you check out that episode if you didn't see it. And I will be editing that down into a nice short episode, as well as whatever happens right now. So we're looking for people to speak with and find out what do they love about Ridgefield, Connecticut. Try to get some success stories. I had Jeff, this nice guy, came by, gave me 5 minutes. I put a microphone on him. He walked away. He has my microphone, and the microphone wasn't on. So I got video of him, and there's no audio. How are you, sir? Good. How you doing? You find a lot of people walking by, they don't really have an interest in talking. But so Ridgefield, just like all the other towns, very limited on inventory. If you have any questions about the Ridgefield market, make sure you reach out. I can keep you in the loop with auto mail, so every week you get new listings and you can understand the market a little better if you're looking to make a move here. Awesome downtown, if you see around me, great restaurants, shops, and boutiques. So I'm gonna do a little B-roll here so you guys can see some of these shops, walk you around. They have a lot of the arts in this community. It's kind of what the backbone is, the arts community here between the Ridgefield Playhouse, and then they have the Aldrich Museum, and they actually have the Prospector Theater, which is an amazing space. We covered that during the episode of Get to Know America here in Ridgefield. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Did just want to come on quick and share a little of downtown with you. I don't know how long we'll be able to stay live for here. How's the broadcast going? Good, we actually got full frames currently. Let me just show you a little this way too. So you see what's really cool about Ridgefield is you also have like street dining. They have this in New Canaan as well. I didn't really show it to you earlier, but Ridgefield's robust with community. If you see down the road over here, past me, there's just a ton of people standing, walking around, sitting in these little benches they have. Most people run away from the camera. If I could, and I don't have my SIM card working and up to date right now, I would walk you straight down the road and see if we can run into people that way. But we're gonna just hang out here for a few minutes and see if we can get a couple of people to stop and talk to us. You know, we're looking for the community experience. We want to find out why people love to be here, but also what do they do for a living? What kind of experiences are they looking for on the weekend? You guys can walk through if you want. You want to share anything about what you love about Ridgefield? We're live on Discover Connecticut. You could just say as you walk too, we love something, but if you have 2 seconds you want to share, we have this beautiful puppy over here. Yeah, what's your puppy's name?
This is Hugo. Yes,
Hugo.
He's Hugo the Hooligan.
Hi, I'm Mark.
I'm Christina.
Christina, Mark Pyers. Chris, nice to meet you guys.
Thank you.
You guys live in Ridgefield?
We do, yeah.
How long you been here?
25 years.
25, wow.
Yeah, I've been here 8.
Okay, so did you grow up here?
I went to high school here. Yeah.
You did, okay, very cool. I went to high school in New Canaan.
Okay.
I used to talk to this community is like people will go to school and then they come back with their families and raise their families here, which is great.
It's a great family community and dog-friendly.
Dog-friendly, yeah. I have 2 dogs. I live in Fairfield now, and I don't bring them out as often because they're really big. Like I got a St. Bernard, and she's just she's got that big bark, even though she's like a baby, but when she starts, she scares me with the bark, you know? So anyway, so you guys are just enjoying the day?
Yeah, we live over by the Playhouse, so we like to walk into town.
Oh, see, that's a beautiful thing. So you have town, you can just walk right to town from where these in-town locations are really ideal and very hard to come by these days. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker, and so I started Discover Connecticut to try to highlight all the communities and the 400 years of history under our feet. I feel like no one talks about the history. Yeah. Like here we had there was an actual Revolutionary War.
Popular Tavern right
There's
over there.
there's a
with the
cannonball. I think I got that in the video when I did Get to Know America about 4 years ago during the pandemic, because I was like, we're gonna have to start selling our communities again. That's when I kind of started this concept. But that was like 22 minutes long, and I was like, no one has the attention span anymore. So Discover Connecticut's the short form, 5 to 7 minutes. I show up in a different town twice a week. And this is what I'm really trying to do now, is get people on to share their experiences. Because I feel like online, like I built 100,000 followers up, but they don't really want to see me. They want to see this. What do people love about where I am and the places I'm selling real estate?
Speaking of the history, I like when they do the reenactments of the Battle of Ridgefield right down Main Street.
Do you know, is there one coming up soon?
That I don't know. It's every few years they do one.
I'll take a look. I did go to the Historic Society when I did Get to Know America, and they were amazing. They shared so many awesome details, and it was cool to get just a little bit of the inside of that, because that building is very, very old. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping. Yeah, thank you so much. And Fairfield residents, 28 years, guys, 28 years. So you got a puppy. What's the puppy's name again?
Hugo.
Hugo, that's right. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. So a little conversation here downtown. Look, there's another dog. So they're not joking. This is a very dog-friendly town. And I think it has a lot to do with how wide these sidewalks are. We're talking about extremely wide sidewalks. Coldwell Banker Realty, there's my Ridgefield office right here. I like to set up in front of the offices when I can. How are you? I just say hi to everybody now. I don't know if anybody wants to talk to me, but I'm going to say hi. Most people don't, but there's a couple walking by. They look like they're nicely dressed. Let's see if we can get them on to talk about Ridgefield. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you guys are having a great day. It is Good Friday, and I'm trying my best to show you some of these awesome towns live in the moment here. Discover Connecticut. How you guys doing? You care to share what you love about Ridgefield with Discover Connecticut? We're live?
No thanks.
All right, no problem. This is where I cue that din, 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 din music, and we'll get that for the edit. Like I said, guys, you're not going to always get people to want to chat, especially people dressed up, ready to go and have a nice lunch here on Good Friday. Don't eat any meat. I think it's the last day for that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to cut this off now and try to cut this into something. I don't even know if there's anything here. Honestly, I was hanging out here hoping that Jeff, the guy I spoke and met over here before he walked down this way to his car, would realize that he has my microphone on his chest and bring it back to me. I need that microphone. I wonder if right now you're hearing him. Maybe it's broadcast from very far away and you're hearing this guy like coughing, and who knows. I can't even tell if anybody's on with me. Let's check and see. Oh, I forgot I could put this on. I always forget. Oh, I can't. I don't have it. I don't have it. Just make sure, if you can, guys, to subscribe to the YouTube channel. How you doing? Another puppy. You see that, guys? Multiple dogs in one shoot here. Discover Connecticut. People just don't want to talk, I have no interest in talking about the town, I guess. So one more time, just to go over it, 31 houses, single-family homes in Ridgefield right now. 13 houses are CTS. Continue to show them, because something may happen. Maybe they don't like what they see in the inspection or the mortgage contingency. They decide to let it lapse and they don't want to, purchase the property. So these things do happen very rarely in this market, but we're only sitting on 31 homes in Ridgefield. That's not a lot to choose from. Get out here and get yours before it's down to 22. And I mean, I can't believe we're so low on all these towns. But the rates, that's the biggest issue we have right now, is the rates. You have to want to and need to move at this point. All right, here's somebody with a baby. You'll see if they'll give us a second here to chat about downtown Ridgefield. Hey guys, how are you? You care to share what you love about Ridgefield with Discover Connecticut? We're live right now.
Not today.
Okay, have a good day. He's got a backpack on of some sort. I don't even know what that was. Is that one of those the water setups? Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You care to share what you love about Ridgefield with Discover Connecticut?
Not right now, sorry.
Okay, no problem. I'll tell you guys, when you join me for these lives, it's 90% me getting shot down by people. So if you want to just see me get hit with a sledgehammer over and over, this is the place to be. Oh, goodness. I was hoping somebody from my office here would pop out and be like, what are you doing out there, Mark? And they haven't yet. I just waved to somebody, though. Maybe they'll come out and say hello and get them on camera. Where's Jeff with my microphone, though? Like, seriously? You got to figure he's at home at this point. And he's like, I got this guy's microphone. I put it right on his chest. You'll see. I'm going to show you the video right now over my shoulder. No audio, but we had a nice 5-minute chat. He's been living in town for 28 years. Son's at Syracuse as a professor. And he's just loves being retired and living in this town, walking around and doing his thing. And I got to say, that was just a pretty cool thing to have happen, but no audio. That can't use it, you know? Hey, how you doing? No, you're all set. Unless you want to be on. You want to talk about what you love about Ridgefield? I'm on. This is Discover Connecticut.
Okay.
What's your name?
Talk a little bit. I'm Andrew.
Andrew Mark Pyers. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Have you grown up here?
I did
Were
grow
you
up
born
here,
here?
yes. I say it again?
Were you born here?
I was born here, yes.
Nice. Okay, your whole life in Ridgefield. This
Yep,
is a
pretty
great
much.
case study right here. So tell me, what do you love about Ridgefield?
What I love about Ridgefield is honestly Main Street. Just part of it is the environment, the location. It's just so beautiful. I mean, Main Street here, everything is all so nice. It's not too city-like, but it's also not too in the middle of nowhere. It's just like a perfect in-between, I would say.
Are you in high school currently?
I'm just started college, actually.
Oh, where are you going?
Going to College of the Holy Cross. This
Oh,
is
okay.
for my brother, sorry.
Are you a baseball player?
I do play baseball, yes.
Are you going to play there at Holy Cross?
Hopefully, I'm on the club team right now, so I'm
Oh,
working
nice.
my way up to the D1 team.
What's your position? Favorite position?
I'm a pitcher.
Nice.
so,
Okay,
yeah.
I was a pitcher too.
Oh, nice.
I got a son who's a lefty. I'm trying to kind of lost his love for the game because he
Oh,
didn't make
really?
the team.
Oh, that's
But it's like
stinks.
he was so small when he was trying. It was like for prep, and like the teams are very tough anyway.
They are very tough.
And you're going up
yes.
against men, and you're still a kid. And now he's
Yep.
big, and I'm like, now you're big. Go out there.
Yeah.
As a lefty, I got him throwing a knuckleball, and I was like, oh, you got something
Oh,
here, man.
knuckleball is good.
Yeah, yeah. So what are your favorite pitches?
Well, the knuckleball is definitely one of them. I
Oh, cool.
fooled around with that before I got injured a few years ago, and then I kind of lost it. But now I like to throw four-seam, curveball, changeup, and cutter.
Nice.
Those are my
Okay.
pitches.
Nice. I see they're doing that splinker. It's like a weird knuckle / splitter or something.
There's a few
Splinker, I
different.
think.
There's Paul Skeens throws a splinker.
That's it. Splinker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
That guy's insane.
That guy is ridiculous.
He's an example of how when you do the work, like he was throwing 92 when he
Yes.
got into 86 to
Force.
92 and he's now 102. Like
Oh yeah, it's
is a
ridiculous.
beast, you know. But I would say the differentiator is the knuckleball. And since you already had it, go back to it.
You think I should?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Because
I
I always
could,
thought,
yeah.
like I remember for me, I was a small kid too. That's why
Yeah.
I relate with my son. So I didn't have the speed when I was a kid, so I threw junk. I had a slider and I had a knuckleball. My knuckleball I thought it was very good.
That's really
And
cool.
so I remember I would only throw the knuckleball. Like
Yeah.
when I was throwing with warming up, it would just be knuckleball after knuckleball.
Oh yeah.
My game was to see how quick I could get my knuckleball into place, so you didn't even know I was throwing it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now it's like I'm 47, just turned 47. I grab the ball and immediately it looks like I'm throwing, but I don't even have to set
You
up.
Still throw it.
As I'm grabbing the ball and bringing it back, I'm setting up now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what happens when you get good enough at just repetition, and all the other stuff you're good at already. You're good at
Exactly.
fastball. You're good at the curveball.
Yep.
So leave those aside. Don't even work on those. Just when you're warming up, whenever anything, just work on the knuckleball every
Yeah.
time, as hard as you could throw it. When you get
That's
your
good advice, yeah.
fastball, knuckleball, and then keep some speed off. If you have 2 different knuckleballs and then your other 4 pitches, dude, you
Yeah.
will dominate.
Like Matt Waldron.
Dude, I'll be like, what is he
That
throwing
guy's
now?
filthy, Yeah.
That's the thing I always say. It's like it's more of a mental game against the batter.
Oh.
If you see a
100%.
guy walking up quick, you slow down.
Oh,
You see a guy
100%.
slow up walking, you go fast.
Yep.
And it's like everything's to get them off of their game, you know? You
That's
don't
so
always have the
true.
same windup every time. You go to a fast pitch. And it's
Yep.
like if you just differentiate your movement, and for me, I used to turn my back completely to the batter and I brought my knee up over my head.
Oh,
As
yeah,
Nolan
wow.
Ryan. I don't know if you see Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan, yeah,
He used
he
to bring
did
his knee
that.
up so high. So as a 13, 14-year-old, I used to love that. So I kicked my knee up so I couldn't see the plate. And I also be back and
Yeah.
I'd whip. And people were like, I don't know if he's gonna hit me, but for some reason, when you work that, you're dialed in, even though it
Yep.
looks like you're wild.
That's the intimidation factor.
And Skeens
Right
gives
there.
me that impression.
He
Where he
does.
looks like he's gonna be wild because he comes from like here and it's like this weird thing. And you're like, that ball can, and he's just zoop, zoop,
It does.
zoop.
It's a wacky windup. For
So
sure.
when you get someone off their game because you look scary, then you beat them already.
Yeah.
Then you throw that 2 different knuckleballs at
Those
them,
knuckleballs.
it's a wrap, man.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate you stopping. Anything else?
Yeah.
You know what? Could you share a location you think I should share with Discover Connecticut? Like something that's unknown that maybe if I go and just do a short piece on, it would just be like, that's pretty cool. I included that.
A location.
Yeah, like a spot, like even a hiking spot or something that's like, I really think this is a cool space we have in Ridgefield that no one really knows about or goes to.
Ridgefield. Let me think.
I assume there's the Revolutionary War locations. That's kind of cool.
Oh, I have heard there's some Revolutionary War where I remember I think learning about there was like they have some cannonball on display.
Yeah, I was gonna say right down the road. I got that a few years ago. That's so cool.
Yeah, I got to check that out at some point. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
See, this is the interesting thing. So I grew up in the area and I didn't have an interest in history at all until I started doing this show. And now I'm like really into what happened here 400 years ago. And like it kind of is just, it's something that you have to reflect on all the greatness and the bad that took place here hundreds of years ago and where we are today and just think about like that arc.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
It is.
But don't let it be forgotten. You know what I mean? That's my goal, is to make sure at least people know about some of these events.
That's good.
You know?
I think it definitely matters because I mean it's part of what makes Ridgefield what it is today.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think
the fight
that completely matters.
Like a lot of these little areas, people fought for us to be here today.
Yeah, exactly.
We wouldn't have, like I've got a Bible from 1775.
Oh, wow.
And it's from England, but I found out the owner of it lived in Sag Harbor, New York, and he fought with George Washington in the Revolutionary War. And all of this is documented online. I'm like, I got this Bible. And so it's here in Connecticut. It's kind of cool that we have all this history. So I'm like, we're digging in. We're diving in on this stuff, you know?
We are, yeah. I mean, that's very cool. I mean, that's great research. I mean, I might start looking into this. I didn't even know all that about Ridgefield.
If you see something cool and you want to meet one day and show me something here in Ridgefield, we'll come out with the camera and we'll shoot it.
All right, great.
Hey, man, you want to give me your full name? I'll put you on the screen.
All right, sure. It's Andrew Volgende.
How to spell that?
Yeah, I'm sure you don't. It's Volgende.
I would have actually said I at the end, but that's for some reason, Gende. No, you're right. I would have gotten the E if I listened back a few times. Anyway, so Holy Cross, you're going to be a class of 29?
2028.
2028. Hey, man, good luck.
Thank you so much.
Knuckleball. Let me know how you do with that, all right?
Yep.
Yeah, man, it differentiates you always.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Have a great day.
You too.
Ridgefield, Connecticut. You got to love it. You got to love it. Talking baseball here on the streets. You know, you never know what's going to happen, what we're going to talk about here in Ridgefield, Connecticut on Discover Connecticut. How you doing? You guys care to share what you love about Ridgefield? I'm live on Discover Connecticut. I highlight the communities and the small businesses and the 400 years of history under our feet. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Mark.
I'm Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Jessica.
Jessica, Mark Pyers.
I'm Kathy.
Kathy, nice to meet you.
We love the town. We love the feel of the town. It's so friendly for families.
Absolutely.
Restaurant, community.
How long have you been here?
5, 6 years.
Oh, nice. Was it pre-pandemic that you came out?
Yes.
Okay, and where were you before?
In Bethel.
Oh, okay, so not far away. So you've been in Connecticut for a while. This is a great place.
Here all my life.
You lived here all your life.
I'm going to be 73.
Wow.
And I live in Newtown.
That's fantastic. We're going to cover Newtown, actually. I have a friend who's like, when are you doing Newtown?
Newtown's great.
Yeah, I'm going to go up there and cover. There's actually a place that has, it's Detroit-style pizza. You probably know it. No. It's like a pizza place below that restaurant.
Oh, they were just talking about it at work last night.
Okay. I heard about it. I got to go try because I love Detroit-style pizza. So I'll be up there soon, and my friend Brian wants to get on the other side of the camera and show me some cool spots in Newtown. Like for me, I'm a realtor. I work with Coldwell Banker, and so I started the show to try to connect with new buyers and sellers. And my thought is, we really don't have anybody who's highlighting this community, these communities. And so if I could be a hyper-local show about what we're doing here, highlight the small businesses. I was in Fairfield earlier today. I met a guy who has 2 businesses. And so I want to just shine a light on this community so everybody can thrive. And when anybody needs to buy or sell, I offer a newer way to market. And we incorporate all my listings into the town episodes. So while you're there, you're saying, hey, check out what the real estate's like in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and you see my new listing. So spread the word if you're looking for something unique and different. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Life longer. Take care. Guys, when they love Connecticut, they stay in Connecticut. So I think that's probably it for us here today. Good Friday. conversations on the street in Ridgefield. I hope this is working. I hope the audio is working and we're not sitting here with no audio. Do we have audio? Please tell me we have audio. Are we audioed in? Yes! We got audio. Sometimes you worry about if you have audio, like me all the time. I wanted to zoom in, by the way, because I think that this is just way too far out there. I should have had this zoomed in when we were speaking. All these people, a little bit better. How are you? All right, so guys, I think that's it for us here today. Downtown Ridgefield, Connecticut. We had some conversations, right? Here's a gentleman walking by. We'll ask him if he wants to say a few things. If not, we're wrapping this up. I will edit this down into something usable for Discover Connecticut. How are you, sir?
How are you?
Good. You care to share what you love about Ridgefield with Discover Connecticut?
Not right this minute.
All right, no worries. Have a good weekend. The Playhouse? He gave a thumbs up to the Playhouse. It is a pretty amazing spot. We have to see if we can cover it, get inside and show you some of the, I mean, they have a really amazing stage. And I'm a fan of venues where people sit and listen to the music and not drink and talk like bars. No, Ridgefield Playhouse, FTC. How are you?
Thank you.
You care to share what you love about Ridgefield?
No.
Okay. All right, that's it, guys. We're running out of steam here. Is this interesting at all when we're talking to people on the street? Let me know. Leave a comment and share. Hit the like if you haven't yet. Turn on all notifications. I will be live again from somewhere. I kind of want to walk the camera. I just don't have my internet set up properly. I have to broadcast here by Coldwell Banker because I've got the signal. I've got the Wi-Fi. So. People are dying on the street. Check out that lady with the red hat on. She's looking cool. I'd love to get her on the air. Nope, she walked into a store. All right, guys, that's it. We're wrapping. Until the next time, in the next town, if you have a location you want to see me, make sure you reach out. Like I said, Newtown, we're coming for you. So until then, have a great weekend. And make sure you, if you can, pop in tomorrow. I should be live for my open house. 313 South Trail, Unit A in Stratford, Connecticut. That's it, yeah. You guys know what's going on here. You've heard about how many houses are on the market, what's trading, and there's one more gentleman walking by. He's not going to talk to us, but I'm going to ask because that's what I do here now. It's important. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. You care to share what you love about Ridgefield with Discover Connecticut?
No, thanks.
All right. Well, he was very kind, at least. Didn't want to talk, but he was very nice about it. You know, maybe we can get these ladies to chat. Hello, ladies. You care to share what you love about Ridgefield with Discover Connecticut? We're live on YouTube right now.
Oh my God. Not today, thank you.
Not today, okay. Well, have a great day.
You having any luck?
I had 3 people, so, and I had one guy, he took my microphone by accident because Jeff, if you see him, very nice guy.
Yeah?
I got to get my microphone back. You don't want to share how long you've been living in town?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm a business guy here, so I don't want to do that. 32 in residence.
Oh, you have a business here?
Yeah.
So I start.
I manage a real estate office.
Oh, you do? Okay. So yeah, I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker, and I started Discover Connecticut to highlight the small businesses, the communities, and the 400 years of history under our feet, and then to incorporate all my listings into every single
Are
episode.
you in this office?
No, I'm in the Fairfield office. I was in New Canaan for 15 years.
Yeah.
And during the pandemic, I just decided to be someplace I could walk to. So I live in Fairfield.
Yeah.
I love my manager in Fairfield.
Good.
And so, so now I started this about a year ago now, and I cover all the towns. And I feel like just keep highlighting what makes these towns great, meet people on the street, and then find some of these business owners so I can shine a light on them, because they're suffering. A lot of people buy their stuff online, and if I can somehow get some people out from behind their phones and spend a little money with some of these local business owners, I'm happy to help in that
I've been
way.
here for 15 years. Moved down here from the Boston area. I have retired, and after 2 years, I just couldn't stand. I used to have a lot of responsibility in my other job, and all of a sudden, you're retired for 2 years. You wake up, you have no responsibility,
Wow, yeah.
and you sort of start losing some of your self-esteem. So my wife said, "Why don't you go do something?" But yeah, this town has changed in many ways positively. I sit on, I'm very involved. I used to be president of downtown Ridgefield.
Oh, wow.
I'm on the cultural committee. I'm a director at RAW, which is, you know what RAW is? Ridgefield Organization for Animal Rescue. It's a
Oh, fantastic.
wonderful organization. But there's not enough retail here. That's the problem. You go into Westport and New Canaan. Fairfield's a little different the way it's kind of laid out, but there's a lot of things there. When we came here, there was much more. We used to have a Gap here, and it's just, that's what brings, it's restaurant and businesses.
For
It's
sure.
not real estate offices. Quite honestly, if they were smart, it would kill the business, but if they were smart, they would take all real estate offices, take them off of Main Street. Not off of Main Street, but off the first floor, okay, and get these places doing business with real estate. It's sad.
Yeah, and you do have enough people walking around in order
Oh, yeah.
to generate business. So I think, again, what we have is most people put their faces into their phone. They're so caught up in the next scroll. And so my thought is, okay, I'll be the next scroll. And so now they're looking at this business here that is not getting eyes on it. And then they can use that themselves. So
The sad part about phones, though, people are using them for texting. The reality is people don't talk to one another anymore.
they don't do this.
They don't, and they don't talk on the phones anymore. They just send a text. It's
Yeah.
kind of absurd, and I kind of really work on my guys to engage clients.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, especially for most of us as realtors, we're people. We work with people. We're not like hiding behind texts.
That's right.
Like I am someone who thrives standing in front of another individual, and then this moment takes place. That's what it is. It's
That's
not
right.
you can't come with a preconceived, thought in your mind. It's like
This is a relationship business. It's not a
It is.
transactional business.
Absolutely,
The transactional
absolutely.
portion of it is not the fun part. The fun
Absolutely.
part is dealing with. Hey,
look
buddy.
at these puppies. Wow. Well, it's amazing to meet you. What was your name?
My name is Barry London.
Barry Mark
I
Pyers.
manage
Pleasure to
the
meet you.
Howard Hanna Rand office. It's so funny that, who would know? We're working on it, but the Howard Hanna is it's the largest independently owned real estate company in this country.
Wow.
16,000
Independent.
agents.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we're not traded. We're not on the stock exchange. We're a family business, but we got close to 500 offices. But we're new in Connecticut.
Oh, interesting.
So it's been a challenge to try and
Trying to get new business. And,
yeah, actually, we're having a good year so far. But
That's
it's been interesting in terms of we get people come in and they say, well, we don't know much about you. What can you tell us about us? But we're getting there. We're getting there.
I find in this day and age, almost every firm has figured out they just offer the similar stuff. And so if you can differentiate yourself as the agent that utilizes the tools they give you, then you are doing the job correctly.
Well, you're absolutely right. When I interview potential agents, first of all, I would never badmouth another company. I know
For
a
sure.
couple of people who do, but I would never badmouth another company.
Here, let's walk this way. The camera just left us and followed them. You took my camera away.
You recording that?
Yeah, everything's always recorded on the show.
They don't use my stuff.
No, I'm kind of make it nice and short. Just talk about the experience you shared with me about the town.
But what's really interesting is that, what the hell was I saying? I can't even remember.
Well, just the being a family-run, smaller
Yeah, no, I was trying to-
operation,
I was
breaking
trying
into a
to-
town like this during a tough market. I mean, what we have to understand is currently, with the rates where there are, we've lost a major part of our buyer pool and seller pool. You had people who'd say, I'll sell my house so I can buy something that's similar. There's no more of that. You either have a new kid and you need another room, so you're buying something and you're just paying up, or you're getting out of the area, or you were transferred into the area. We lost all those sideways buyers because of the rates.
A lot of things that we've lost, quite honestly, is I'm an older boomer. So, people, I still own my home here. And quite honestly, it's not a small home. So probably, if things were a little different, I would have downsized a while ago. And I think a lot of the older boomers are holding on to their homes.
Yeah,
for
I think
longer.
you're right, and I think that's a bad strategy, because most of the people that are boomers right now have the ability to up and go, or find something small and capitalize on the fact that they could put more money than they ever will for the rest of their lives in their pocket
Well,
right
if you
now.
live in a home for a long time, chances are you don't have a mortgage at all.
That's what I mean.
And
So
if you're selling high, even if you have to buy high, well, you're selling high.
you're
And
selling
then
high,
pretty
yeah.
much you
It's a
break it even.
wash.
You
I always
break
say
it even.
everything's a wash no matter what market. You have to buy at the same moment in time. So you're a wash unless you're in a specific price point, because you know, as I do, that sometimes certain price points are moving more than others. We're just in a weird market where everything's moving. So you got to just realize
that's
that
right.
you're going to get a lot. You may have to pay a lot, but you have all of this slush that you throw into the bank and let it earn in the markets. And you stay, yeah, I mean, you get to a
Well, I
point
think
where you can
that's
enjoy
why
the next chapter.
You're seeing a lot of cash buyers, because people who are cashing in with no
Yeah.
mortgages, walking away, and they're downsizing. The reality is they don't want to take on another mortgage, particularly if you're a younger boomer or an older boomer. You want
Yeah.
to pay cash for your house and put
Yeah.
the rest of the money aside. So that's our game.
And those are the cash buyers are obviously taking most of the deals, and they don't care about the rate. And that's where we have that fourth buyer. It's like the cash buyer is king, because most people are afraid of rates and they don't want to deal with the 7%.
I will tell you, I never could quite understand that. If somebody's got, other than cash, if they're offering more money for the house and they're approved and they're putting at least 20% down, I mean, I wouldn't care if it was a cash buyer versus someone putting down 20%.
Yeah, I agree with you on that side of it. I think that we just have more of a fear from the mortgage side. However, I bought my first house. It was 7.2, 6.7. I didn't blink an eye. We just were in a weird time in history where people are paying 3. Like that's not real.
Well, I think once
you
we
know?
went to 8, it scared everybody.
Yeah.
And then as we came down a little bit, and then we were kind of ranging in that 7% range, nobody was ready. But I think 6%, 6.5%, it ticked up a little bit last week. I think that's becoming the new normal. And I really don't think people are really fearing it anymore, because quite honestly,
it is going to be there for a
when I
while.
bought my first home, I was paying, I think, 14 or 15%.
This is what people don't realize is back in the 80s.
That's right.
It was really
And
very,
now,
very.
I mean, I would have died for a 6% mortgage.
I know,
to
right?
be honest
That's
with
the
you.
thing is, so it's all perspective. You know Dr. Wayne Dyer?
I know that he.
So he has a quote, to change the way you look at things and the things you look at change.
That's
And I
right.
love that, because we all are
That's right.
obtuse and we just have to open up our perspective. And when you look from another angle, you're going to see it a whole different way. So yeah, 2.5%, 3% was unheard of. And the people who capitalized on that, good for you. But 7% is not bad. 6.5% is not bad considering historical, rates,
Well, listen, as you know, prices are still at the very, very high.
And
They keep talking about the fact it's going to come to an end. Well, the reality of it is, until we get more inventory, it's not. It's just supply and demand.
It's all supply and demand,
That's what it is. So they've been talking about, the prices are going to start to come down for the last 6 months. I mean, we're at an all-time high. I mean, Fairfield, I don't know what the average price of Fairfield. It's got to be over $1 million.
It's close.
Ridgefield's about 1.2 now. And you go into Westport, it's about 2.8. New Canaan, about $2 million. So, I mean, everything is at a very, very high price right now.
It's just supply and demand,
the
though, to
people
your
that
point.
it's hurting the most are the first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
That's the killer. That's tough.
Yeah,
on
if you
those
don't have a
people.
piece to transition out
Yeah,
of,
that's right.
and like you said, to capitalize on, to push into that higher valuation. So yeah, we're dealing with a different time. It's just a historic change for real estate.
You guys
and then-
closing early today?
I haven't been in there. I was hoping somebody from the office would come and say hello to me,
Yeah.
because I know Joe, he's one of my buddies. But I don't know, I'm not sure who's in the office today. I just set up here because I need Wi-Fi. This is my system here. I got the ability to put a SIM card in there,
Yeah.
but it expired like 2 weeks ago, and I have to go get a new one.
How often you been doing this?
I started this a year ago, and I do 1 to 2 towns a week.
Now, is this for, how should I put this? Is it really for your business, or is it really more about just doing something that's good for the individual towns, or both?
Well, it's the entire intent originally was to get listings in these towns and incorporate them into the show to market it in a way no one's ever seen before. So we're selling the town and we're selling my properties within. So I started it with that in mind. And then I got to this idea, well, I think what's better is to shine a light on the small businesses, and hopefully they start sharing it. And then buyers and sellers say, well, here's the expert in the area who's sharing everything about the area. And then I'm seeing properties that he has as well. So it's all encompassing. But then I had businesses asking me to shoot their social media content for them because I make pretty good content.
Right.
And so now I'm creating a new business off of my real estate business,
Good for you.
which has to do with content creation. So my hope is that this just continues on, and eventually when I'm walking down the streets, people are like, hey, that's the guy from Discover Connecticut.
There you go.
Because I just keep doing it and I don't know how to quit. So I'm sitting here today in
good for
Good
you.
Friday, and most people are taking the day off, but I went live in Fairfield
Except for
earlier
us.
and now here. Yeah,
for us.
exactly.
And your
Hey,
name again is
Mark Pyers.
Mark.
And
Nice
you
to
were?
meet you. I'm Barry London.
Barry London.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Have a nice holiday.
You too. So that's something, guys. You know, when you don't expect a full conversation to take place, and it does here downtown Ridgefield. How you guys doing? You care to share what you love about Ridgefield with Discover Connecticut?
Sure.
Oh, look at this, 2 in a row. I'm on fire. Hi, I'm Mark Pyers.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Ian.
Ian, nice to meet you guys. How long you been living in town?
2.5 years.
Nice. Where'd you come from?
We were in Greenwich before.
Oh, okay. So you stayed local. What about before Greenwich? Were you there for a while?
City.
Oh, city to Greenwich to here. Wonderful.
Totally moving up.
Wow, very
Totally.
cool. So what do you love about the town?
I would say, and I think today's a good example.
Yeah, just
of
being able to walk around.
being able to come walk around town, sit outside, had lunch.
I think the wide sidewalks here are something like we have that in New Canaan because they forced that in during the pandemic. But in general, no other towns have super wide sidewalks like this.
Yeah.
So you could take your baby for a walk. The dogs I see constantly taking the
Absolutely.
stroll, which is wonderful.
being able to pet everyone's dog as they walk by is
Absolutely,
a
absolutely.
great feature.
Do you work in the city?
I used to.
Okay, so you work, is it
Work
remote now?
Yeah.
That's one of the beautiful things that took place over the pandemic is people were able to transition their job into a remote, situation beyond,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah.
You like that? You're home with the baby.
Love it, yeah.
That's fantastic. What do you do for a living?
Finance.
Finance. You have a piece of advice you give young entrepreneurs who are getting into finance or thinking about it?
Work hard, enjoy it, make connections, and
Make connections is huge. That's huge. You know, it's funny. I met a guy. I got to move this. I met a guy in New Canaan who works for a hedge fund 2 weeks ago, and he says exactly the same thing. He goes, "Just do the work hard, and the hard work will pay off." And he was talked about the struggles that we all deal with personally in life, and those to him was more of a success for him than making X amount of money. Is that he was able to beat his life's challenges, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. So anything you could share with us, or is there a location in Ridgefield you think I can go in order to share with this Discover Connecticut experience? I like to find little niche areas that no one knows about.
Main Street, Fountain.
The fountain?
I mean, I think we spent a lot of time in the park, whether for all the events or playground time there.
Playgrounds.
Playgrounds?
Yeah, I think I feel like the playgrounds are kind of the go-to. Or
Oh, very cool.
Sitting outside the cow at Deborah Ann's for an ice cream or some candy.
Ooh, I have to go check that out too.
It's
Very
a good,
cool.
good spot. Kind of downstairs has some old school candy shop feel. And
Oh,
then
nice.
Upstairs you can get some ice cream and
I have to
such
check
and
that
sit
out.
outside. That's a
That's
good
so
one.
cool. And do you guys have any plans for the holiday weekend? Just enjoying yourselves and the town?
Enjoying ourselves. So last weekend there were some local egg hunts, and
Oh,
so
cool.
we took advantage of that down here at the Lounsbury House was one, and another one in the park shortly after.
So the town constantly has activities for the family here.
Yes, constantly is a good word.
That's
I
so
think
cool.
there's holiday strolls down Main Street, and they do one day is kind of a little more of a family feel, and then the night before is a little more of a kind of mom and dad date night feel.
That's so cool.
To stroll around there for Halloween, it's trick or treating. The tree lighting in town is actually they light all of the trees.
That's so
the
cool.
local schools sing in front of right here in front of town hall, and then they hit the button and all of the trees that line Main Street all light up at once.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That is a good one.
Now, I heard they do
trick or treating for Halloween.
they do a Revolutionary War reenactment. That parade. Have you seen that?
I haven't. I have heard they do that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I want to see that.
You can sometimes walk around and see folks in
the
old-time
garb?
attire.
It could be ghosts too. We're not really sure.
Yeah, you never know.
That's so cool though. Yeah, I actually did a show 3 years ago called Get to Know America, and I did Get to Know Ridgefield, Connecticut. So it's like 22 minutes long, and I went to the Historic Society. I met with Rudy, the town super cool guy. He gave me like 10, 15 minutes, just gold, like lifelong resident,
Yeah.
And so do you guys see yourselves staying here beyond?
Definitely.
Great place to raise the family.
Definitely.
So cool. And you left Greenwich to come here, so that's
did.
saying something. Greenwich we cover sometimes as well, and
Yeah, which is great.
great town
you
too.
know.
Yeah, it's bigger though,
It-
much
it
bigger.
is. And I think from the kid perspective, there's some sort of family event happening somewhere around here most weekends.
You know what's
So
interesting about
really fun
Greenwich
stuff.
is you've got so many pockets in Greenwich, but Ridgefield's Ridgefield.
Yes.
So it's like
It's
if you're doing an
different
event,
thing.
it's Ridgefield,
Yeah.
where you've got Old Greenwich, you've got Coscob, and it's like,
Totally.
where do I, look for? So
Yeah.
that's what I think makes this town really awesome.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
You guys
Thank
are awesome.
Thank
If you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll see yourselves in a few days.
Awesome.
Take care, guys. Have a great day. Appreciate you. All right, I think that's it, guys. Downtown Ridgefield, Connecticut. It's Mark Pyers, your realtor with Discover Connecticut. And why am I not in screen here? I think it's because I set it up that way. I wanted to get Ian in. He wasn't in the shot. That's it for today, guys. Downtown Ridgefield, Connecticut. We had a great time. A few people got on with us. Not sure if there was anything good there, but I'll cut it into an episode for you. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on all notifications. I will see you later. Until then, it's Mark Pyers with Coldwell Banker and Discover Connecticut. I'm leaving the camera today. That's it. I'm leaving it. I don't even want it. I don't even want that camera anymore. I didn't use a camera. I don't need it. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not going to leave the camera. That would just be crazy. What's up, bud? That's cool. How are you? Hey, you care to share what you love about Ridgefield with Discover Connecticut?
What was that?
Would you care to share what you love about Ridgefield with Discover Connecticut? Do you live in town?
No, I'm in Reading.
Oh, cool. I got to do Reading next.
Oh, really?
Look for me on
Wow.
the streets. I do all of the towns. I highlight the small businesses, the 400 years of history under our feet,
Oh, okay.
and my real estate business. I'm a realtor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So trying to find a new way to market to social media audiences that no one's thought of, which is to start at the first hyper-local show about our areas.
Right.
And then every time I get a new listing, it's just incorporated into the town episode. So we're selling town/my properties.
Oh, okay, cool.
So-
And you work over here?
I work at the Coldwell Banker in Fairfield, Connecticut,
Oh,
and I
okay.
cover all the towns. So
Wow.
I sell all of the towns in Connecticut. So I'm trying to build this base of content. So when people are moving into the area, they just look through the 5 or 6 episodes of Ridgefield or New Canaan, Greenwich.
Right.
You
Yeah, I
know?
was in, with Houlihan Lawrence. I was in New York. I think I got my license like 40 years.
Oh, no way. Are you a realtor currently?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
are?
I put myself in the
referral
Weather
network?
Vane referral group.
Okay, okay.
I was doing stocks with my brother, and
Oh,
he
nice.
passed away, and from pancreatic cancer.
I'm so sorry to hear
so I
that.
decided not to do anything. So now I'm retired.
Oh, nice. Well, if you
Yeah.
ever need somebody who's going to proactively take care of a client you need, make sure you reach out
I
to
think it
me.
was Kohler that had the house first, but we bought it from in Reading.
Oh,
We're right by
okay.
the library, right up the block.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
really
if you
nice.
look for me on YouTube, just type in Discover CT
Okay.
and just subscribe. And if you want to say hello, and I'd love to, at some
Yeah.
point, if you ever think about selling that,
Yeah, what's
we'll
your
put
name?
it Mark Pyers, like
Mike
tires,
Pyers.
Mark Pyers, like tires, but with a P.
Okay, nice to meet you.
And what's your name again?
Charles.
Charles. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And when I think we're done, it just keeps going. Look at this guy. Let me get this here. Uh-oh. Are we out of power here? Oh, I haven't been recording that? How is that possible? So, at least we got it at 1080p. I didn't get it at 6K. I don't know what the heck, why I was not recording. How long was that not recording? All right, guys. So I missed all of that. But we did get it here on YouTube, so I'll have to just cut it and make the best of it. It's not going to be the best quality, but whatever. Anyway, I'm getting out of here now. Now I'm frustrated. Lost my microphone. Jeff, where the heck did you go, guy? I mean, like, you come on the air with me 40 minutes ago, take my microphone. Audio wasn't even on yet. I got great video of this guy, great story, and I don't have it anymore. And he has my microphone. Dang it. No, it's interesting. I never give that second microphone out to anybody. The one time I do, he takes it, He didn't do it intentionally. He probably still doesn't even know he has it on his shirt. Unreal. Yeah, he still got it. I don't have it. All right, that's it, guys. Until next time, it's Mark Pyers, Discover Connecticut, your realtor, co-loan banker. Make sure you reach out if you have any questions. Until next time, I keep saying the same crap. I gotta go. Have a good day.